They march.
The silence is decreasing and people are making noise, and that's good.
They lead.
I feel really honored to be the first woman to basically take my place at the table with the guys.
They create.
The soul and heart and spirit of the community is coming through.
They innovate.
I needed to set an example for other women who were looking to advance their careers.
They are women changing the course of history.
No matter how difficult it gets, you can't give up.
For this generation and the next.
We need our girls to understand that they can't be afraid of technology.
Our time is now. NBC10 News presents Today's Inspiring Woman. I'm Rosemary Connors.
And I'm Denise Nakano. March is Women's History Month, and we're at the National Constitution Center in Old City, where the museum is highlighting the work of women during wartime. These are the faces of history.
In the next 30 minutes, meet local women working to change the future. They are taking charge in and of our community.
We start with a national movement making an impact in Philadelphia.
Wawa supports strength and courage in face of adversity.
Me Too and Time's Up. More than terms, they are movements bringing about change and forcing the topic of sexual assault and harassment out of the shadows.
The Me Too movement and the sexual harassment allegations have pushed the conversation of sexual harassment, sexual violence, sexual assault to almost be dining room conversation.
Dr. Monique Howard is the executive director of Women Organized Against Rape, or WAR.
Me Too is empowering.
She says the Me Too movement confirms a largely unspoken truth that nearly every woman on the planet, and some men, have survived sexual assault or experienced harassment in their lifetime.
The WAR Hotline, how may I help you?
Calls into the WAR Hotline have more than doubled since this past October. That's when actress Alyssa Milano helped to spread the movement with a viral tweet following a wave of sexual misconduct allegations against Harvey Weinstein.
We've had a large increase of phone calls to our 24-hour hotline, and we're seeing that. So people are telling their truth.
So the three strategies that we use are
WAR is building on the momentum of the Me Too movement.
How we intervene and why we need to intervene.
With programs like Safe Bars, training bar staff and others to stand up against sexual violence.
But I think with the Me Too, a lot of people feel more comfortable being able to speak up. Things like these classes are able to build confidence for people and help them be able to control situations further.
And men are also a growing part of the movement.
I think that venues and people who work at venues want to be able to better address this and just need some tools to do that.
The Me Too movement got its start with Tarana Burke, a former Philadelphia activist.
I could never have envisioned something that would change the world.
She earned a spot with other silence breakers as Time Magazine's 2017 Person of the Year.
I've been saying from the beginning that it's not just a moment, it's a movement. And so with movements take time and they build over time and they're strategic. I think now the work really begins.
And now the Me Too movement is taking off with organizations like WAR implementing new strategies that educate, enlighten, and empower.
The silence is decreasing and people are making noise, and that's good.
A new voice has emerged, and with it, a shared strength that stands up for the right of every woman and man to live in a world free of sexual harassment and violence.
You're believed, and we will believe you, and we will support you.
The Me Too movement also focuses on empowering women to take on leadership roles. There is no place in Philadelphia more evident than the airport, where women rule the runway. The majority of the airlines there are run by women. The CEO is a woman. If you're flying in and out of Philly, these are some of the women who give you your wings.
Reitman Toll supports Leaders Who Inspire.
I'm Shelley Cameron, CEO of Philadelphia International Airport.
I'm Judy McMurtry, the station manager for Delta Airlines at the Philadelphia International Airport.
My name's Olympia Colasanti. I'm the Vice President for American Airlines in Philadelphia. Hi, how
good. Yeah.
It was 26 years ago when Olympia Colasanti first worked at Philadelphia International as a shift manager.
Wow, full house today. Wow.
Chances are, if you're traveling out of the airport, it's under Colasanti's watch. She's responsible for more than 8,400 employees, as many as 426 flights a day. American makes up over 70% of all the flying here. Colasanti's passion for aviation began as a little girl on a family trip abroad that left her fascinated.
So much so that my mom actually told me that she saw a sparkle in my eye because I became different when I was in the airport. And she said to me, maybe when you get older, you can work in an airport someday. And that always stuck with me.
It wasn't even just about the airport, it was something about sitting on that airplane.
Judy McMurtry of Delta also developed a love for flying at a young age on a school field trip to the airport. That love spawned a lifelong devotion to the industry. She rose through the ranks, starting in reservations, then customer service, and eventually management.
I'm a make it happen kind of person, so you may tell me no, not at this time or something, but I'm like, it's got to be a way.
McMurtry recognizes how unique it is to have women at a busy hub like Philadelphia running the majority of the airlines. She says the women here support each other.
We have a common goal. It's our customers. Hey, how are you? Oh my gosh, I love working with you.
Under Shelley Cameron's leadership, 30 million passengers travel through Philadelphia International every year. Her journey to the position of CEO began by serving our country.
The best way that I found to pay for college was ROTC. I was lucky enough to get all 3 ROTC scholarships and ended up taking the Air Force One, and that started my career in aviation.
She left the Air Force as a captain and made the transition from the military to management at Washington's airports and now Philadelphia's.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you. How are you doing this afternoon?
A top priority here is a diverse workforce.
And we focused on that in the airport because I want people to be able to walk into a room and see people who look like them and be able to see them as role models.
As a role model herself, Cameron wants young women to be inspired by her message of inclusion.
You belong in the room. You belong at the table. And we need to hear what you have to say because businesses are stronger. They're more profitable, they're more creative, they're better at doing whatever it is that they do by having you in the room.
From the skies to the streets of Philadelphia, the meaningful murals splashed on buildings and bridges tell the story of our city.
The driving force behind bringing that art to life is a woman, and her mission is to nurture the imagination of a community.
Raymore and Flanagan supports Inspiring Through Arts.
When the founder and executive director of Mural Arts Philadelphia walks through the door,
how are you feeling today, Jane?
It's to applause. Jane Golden is the woman of the hour and the driving force behind several decades of projects you pass by and see in every neighborhood of Philadelphia.
I think art is almost like the oxygen that we breathe.
Golden's latest project is the Mural Arts Studio at the Barnes. It's a collaboration between Mural Arts and the Barnes Foundation, and it's making a difference in the lives of formerly incarcerated men and women.
The chance to meet new people, connect with communities, learn skills, and as they learn skills and they change, they're changing communities around the city. So
this space is just overwhelming, but I just keep it together, and I'm very thankful.
My husband's like, how do you get around the city? I'm like, because I love the murals.
Under Golden's leadership, Mural Arts has created more than 3,600 murals and brought awareness to social issues of incarceration, mental illness, homelessness, and addiction.
She had an idea, and it grew into one of the top art organizations in the world. We're very grateful to Jane Golden for providing us with continued opportunities to make our city the city to be.
Art is connecting the world, and Jane Golden's world is one that's inclusive and eye-opening.
The work should be a mirror that we hold up and we say that your life counts, you have meaning, and that what we're doing is going to represent back to you what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what your hopes and dreams are, your struggles, your triumphs. That's what art should be. Sometimes it's just a field of color.
She's not one to stop unless it's to sleep. With her diagnosis of lupus in the mid-'80s, she's realized that every moment counts. And she uses her time, energy, and talent to transform the city of Philadelphia with artwork that tells the story of its people and of changing times.
I want to make the most of every day, every single day. And I want to figure out ways that we can mine that power of art and put it to work. And when I used to say, oh, art saves lives, well, I think I feel it because I think it saved mine.
Now we want to share your stories. Who are women inspiring you?
NBC10 is giving you a voice. Go to NBC10.com and share a story of a woman who has empowered you. Or you can post your story on social media using the hashtag #InspiringWomen.
Women We Remember, brought to you by Vision 2020, a national women's equality coalition based at Drexel University. Learn more at drexel.edu/vision2020.
She is the most famous aviatrix of all time. Amelia Earhart was the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean and was the first to fly nonstop across the United States.
Get a great deal more than a great deal at the Hyundai Season of More event. Lease an all-wheel drive Santa Fe Sport for $209 a month or get up to $37.50 in total savings. Hurry in. Offers end April 2nd.
Power outages are inconvenient, disruptive, and can be catastrophic to your life. Now more than ever, you need a Generac automatic home standby generator. With prices starting at just $19.49, you can afford to always have the power you need. When power from the utility company is interrupted, your Generac generator instantly detects the problem and automatically provides power to your home. When the utility power returns, your generator automatically shuts off and returns to standby mode, ready for the next time you need it. With Generac, power stays on in your house, even if you're not at home.
I know that when the power goes out, that Generac is going to kick on and I'm going to have power powering my whole house.
If it's out for 15 minutes or 4 days, we're going to be okay.
Generac gives us that peace of mind because it is our power grid.
Generac's automatic home standby generators start at just $19.49. Special financing is available with affordable monthly payments. Plus, with the Generac mobile link, you can check on your generator anytime from anywhere in the world. With the highest quality construction, exceptional dependability, and state-of-the-art technology, it's easy to see why Generac is the #1 brand of automatic home standby generators in the world. And now, for a limited time, during Generac's Double Your Power event, when you purchase a qualifying automatic home standby generator, Generac will give you a free portable inverter generator. That's a $500 value, absolutely free. This portable inverter generator is great for camping, tailgating, and other outdoor adventures. Call or go online now. Hurry, offer ends April 22nd. With Generac, never lose power again and get peace of mind knowing your family will be safe and sound. Control your power and control your life with a Generac automatic home standby generator.
Life doesn't happen here. It happens here. This isn't a place that gives out awards for showing up. You have to work hard to earn respect. Getting up day after day, doing what needs to be done. You're not asking for someone to hold your hand, but having someone you can count on, that means something. This is our home. These are the stories we tell. NBC 10. Count on it.
When you think of building and construction, do you think of women running the job sites? You may want to start.
Emily Bittenbender has made a name for herself as a general contractor. She is the only woman to chair Philadelphia's century-old General Building Contractors Association.
Bittenbender even oversaw the design and construction of the very place we're standing, the National Constitution Center. One of her latest projects, Love Park.
TGI Fridays supports Breaking Barriers.
It's in that iconic Philadelphia park, newly renovated, where I meet the general contractor.
You're a GC.
I'm a GC and part of the Boys Club, and I love it.
Construction is in Emily Bittenbender's blood. When she was a girl growing up in the Pocono Mountains, her grandfather, who owned an architectural firm, frequently brought her with him on the job.
I was always the only woman on the job sites, and it was funny because the guys were so excited when my grandfather would bring me that they would call me boss lady.
A title that would be years in the making. After graduating from Moore College of Art and Design in Philadelphia, Bittenbender thought fashion was her calling, but eventually she found a career in interior commercial design. She later realized she had the itch for construction, and a friend who's a contractor told her it was time to scratch it.
I sold my home, I liquidated all my 401ks, I cashed everything in, and basically started Bittenbender 15 years ago.
You took a big risk.
Huge. Huge. No dad, no husband. So it was basically a true sink or swim situation.
So you've got the dirty one,
Yep.
I've got the clean one. Well, that makes sense.
Right, and you just ratchet it in the back.
All right, okay, we'll go in.
All right, good. We're going in.
She definitely didn't sink. She succeeded.
So what's the timeline for this?
So we're going to basically mobilize very soon to start the demolition of this building. And then
Restoring the visitor center at Love Park is the next phase of the project here.
In the summertime, this fountain will light up.
Yes, so the underground is all plumbing for the jets for the fountain.
On Bittenbender's job sites, you will find men.
Right, Joe?
Yep.
But they don't dominate her company.
We employ 63% women professionals, which is unheard of across my competitors, and 21% minority. So we're incredibly diverse. Our tagline is changing the face of construction and changing the way that you think about construction.
And perhaps the way you think about women in construction.
So you want to take a ride?
I do want to take a ride.
Some of our projects. All right.
This is a pretty intense truck.
Yes, it is. It's all custom.
I mean, this clearly is your style, but
oh, yeah,
do you feel like you have to pull up onto the job site with a pretty heavy-duty truck?
Oh, I love trucks.
She drives through the city past some of her projects and takes us to one of her favorites.
All right, so here it is.
Here it is, Franklin Square.
So you were saying this was the first?
This was the first park. We actually renovated this in 2006.
Early on, Bittenbender had to win over the naysayers. Not an easy task, but she was determined to take a seat at the table.
When I first started, there were a few that really didn't want us to be in their place in this industry. And I said to them, instead of looking at me as your competition, look at me as though I'm your daughter or your wife and a woman that you would want to support and see succeed. And those guys really bought into that. And today they're some of my best supporters.
Emily Bittenbender prides herself in paving a way for others and being an example to young women. And a Delaware educator is doing the same. Dr. Laverne Harmon is the first female African-American university president in Delaware's history. NBC10's Tracy Davidson takes us on her path to presidency.
Your local Ford stores support Inspiring Through Education.
Dr. Laverne Harmon says she was never working her way up to this moment.
I started as her secretary, and now I'm the president.
Gratefully, she credits her sister Linda for opening a door.
It's because of her that my life changed completely.
Linda worked as assistant to the president at then Wilmington College, always talking about Laverne. Then the school offered Laverne a scholarship to go back to school.
Unfortunately, after a year and a half of working with the president, Linda died suddenly of a brain aneurysm.
At the funeral, the president of the college offered Laverne a job, too. An employee and a student, earning her bachelor's and her master's and becoming a faculty member. Earned her doctorate at Penn and became part of the administration. 10 years of working and going to school. Now she's the first student to become president, first African-American woman to be president of the university.
You have to be determined. You have to be dedicated. You have to work really, really hard. And you have to sacrifice.
Dr. Harmon says the culture at Wilmington U has always been fair and equitable for women. But on her journey, she's faced detractors.
You have to stand up. You have to stand up to them. You can't be fearful. One thing my mother taught me as a kid, and I believe it helped me so much, you're no better than anyone else, and no one else is better than you.
A lesson that's helped her lead. And the obstacles? She sees those as lessons too.
I could sit here and talk about some things that I perceived as being discriminatory or whatever. But you know what? When I look back on them, they were all lessons that I needed to learn to be a better person.
Her lesson for others?
I would tell women to respect themselves and other women. Be accepting of other cultures. We're here on this earth as human beings to provide service. You have offered me the greatest honor, the privilege to serve as your president. I am deeply humbled by your trust.
And as President Harmon serves, she hopes she's carving a path for the next generation.
Women We Remember, brought to you by Vision 2020, a national women's equality coalition based at Drexel University. Learn more at drexel.edu/vision2020.
She was a civil rights activist who sparked a new era in the effort to end segregation. In 1955, Rosa Parks refused to surrender her seat on a public bus to a white passenger. That demonstration of strength would become the catalyst for the 381-day Montgomery bus boycott in Alabama.
There's a new Burlington opening in your neighborhood.
I love the jewelry. Everything for the home. Blouses, dresses,
shoes and socks.
I love the kids' stuff. Strollers, jackets.
all the great brands at a fraction of the cost.
Hurry in and save.
There's always something new at Crayola Experience in Easton. Brand new. Use your imagination to solve colorful challenges. Plus, a full day of hands-on family fun. Watch your paper creation dance. Create melted wax spin art. Turn your coloring page into a 4D adventure. Name your own crayon. And watch how crayons are made. Make colorful memories that last a lifetime at Crayola Experience.
Get your coupons today at participating Turkey Hills.
For the most accurate weather forecast, count on a team that gets it right. NBC10 First Alert Weather, rated most accurate by Weather Rate, an independent researcher that studies every station's forecast for accuracy. NBC10 First Alert Weather, count on it.
Say hello to spring at Fortune Off Backyard Store's Easter sale. We've got our very best outdoor and patio furniture on sale for this once-a-year event. Save 25 to 60% off our everyday low prices on the finest teak, resin wicker, cast aluminum, and so much more. Compare Fortune Off quality and you'll find no one sells better. Compare Fortune Off's prices and you'll find no one sells for less. Get your backyard ready for spring during our Easter sale at Fortune Off Backyard Store.
More and more people are finding themselves in a Chevrolet for the first time. Trying something new can be exciting, empowering, downright exhilarating. See for yourself why Chevrolet is the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall.
Switch into a new Chevy now. Current qualified competitive owners and lessees can get this 2018 Chevy Equinox for around $169 a month. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
She was a pioneer in the world of science. Marie Curie was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize, and she later became the first person, man or woman, to claim Nobel honors twice.
Women We Remember, brought to you by Vision 2020, a national women's equality coalition based at Drexel University. Learn more at drexel.edu/vision2020.
Today, women are working to make their mark in the world of STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math.
According to the U.S. Department of Commerce, women filled 47% of all U.S. jobs in 2015, but only held 24% of STEM jobs.
Statistics like that inspired one Philadelphia woman to start grooming girls to become the next generation of great minds.
Burlington supports Inspiring Through Science.
With every click of the mouse and scan of the screen,
after I'm done putting which blocks I want, I press download.
These girls are building brain power.
It randomized to either be a rock
paper or scissors.
In the palm of their hands is a microbit, a pocket-sized computer with endless coding possibilities.
So I shake it and then it turns to rock. And then if I press it, it shows on my scores now too.
On a Saturday in Center City, middle school students like 13-year-old Ava Sadam learn computer science skills with the help of Tech Girls, a nonprofit organization inspired by one goal: to close the gender gap in the world of technology.
Technologists come in all shapes and sizes and colors, so if we present it that way, it allows the girls to see that they too can belong here.
Tech Girls was born in Philadelphia 8 years ago, the brainchild of Tracy Welson Rossman, a woman who has made her own professional strides in a male-dominated field. She is the founding member and chief marketing officer of a tech consulting firm.
I saw this opportunity to work in a creative industry, collaborative, and something that was really exciting, and women weren't taking advantage of it.
The nonprofit hosts free, interactive events in the area and now across the country.
Technology is going to be part of almost every job that you're doing.
This month, Tech Girls is marking a milestone. 10,000 participants have taken advantage of the free events.
I really like the challenge of coding and trying to figure out how to make something do something that you want it to do.
And for girls like Ava, possibility becomes reality, a prospective career within reach.
After going to all the Tech Girls workshops, I probably want to be a computer scientist.
Next up for Tech Girls, they hope to hit another milestone, 20,000 girls through the program by 2020.
Our goal is to create the next generation of women who are unafraid to use technology to be part of the innovation economy, and for them to know that they belong here and that no one can tell them that they're not supposed to be here.
And that lesson isn't lost on Ava.
We need to close that gap.
We hope introducing you to executives, entrepreneurs, and educators sparks a conversation about shattering that glass ceiling.
Our inspiring women have advice for the next generation. We leave you tonight with their call to action.
You have to be tenacious, you have to have grit, you have to be resilient.
Do what you love, do what you have passion. Of course, never listen to anybody if they say that you can't do it, because it's not true.
Girls and young women shouldn't be afraid to fail. That, part of learning is also failing.
Work hard, set yourself apart, but not for gender, not for anything else, but other than the quality of the work that you do.
I think that there isn't anything that women can't do today.
This is Women's History Month, and so we run the world.
Get a great deal more than a great deal at the Hyundai Season of More event. Right now, lease an all-wheel drive Tucson for $199 a month for 36 months. Hurry in. Offers end April 2nd.
Great. Another dead end.
Sarge, I just got a tip that'll crack this case wide open. Turns out the prince at the crime scene...
Did McGruffy Wuffy get a tippy-whippy?
I'm serious. We gotta move fast before...
Who's a good boy? Is him a good boy?
I'm just gonna go.
Oh, you wanna go outside? You gotta go tinky poo-poo.
I already went, okay? In the bathroom.
As long as people talk baby talk to dogs, you can count on Geico saving folks money. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Erica presented with stage 2 breast cancer and a more aggressive form.
I felt the lump, and I knew that I had to have it checked out.
She is a mom of 3 daughters. She lives a very active life, and we had to move fast.
I knew there was only one place and one team that I wanted, and that was at MD Anderson Cooper.
I've run in races with her, and she does not give up.
You can't be that person that says, I can't do it. You have to. I have 3 daughters. MD Anderson Cooper. I always knew I was in the best hands.
If you're in the process of hiring a lawyer to represent you in your injury case, let me give you some important tips. First, ask the lawyer when the last time they had a trial was. Then ask, what did the insurance company offer before taking that case to trial? I'm Matt Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Here's some straight talk. If they don't give you that information, don't hire them. At Morgan & Morgan, every single one of our lawyers will be happy to share that with you. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
I'm Sarah Gore, and this is Open House. We have some truly fabulous living this week from Cali to Connecticut, plus a double dose of Brooklyn chic. We're with Refinery 29 at the home of style guru Stacey London. And fashion designer Chris Benz shows how he updated his classic Bedford-Stuyvesant townhouse. Plus a new Canaan home originally designed by mid-century modern icon Elliot Noyes. But first, a light-filled architectural gem in Pasadena, California.
Honestly, who doesn't like to show off from time to time? I mean, you've got a towel heater in your kitchen. Who needs a towel heater in their kitchen? You do, because you've got a pool. Follow me.
Welcome to Open House. Right now I'm coming to you from a chic apartment in New York's